on every barrel of oil, and they've done it within 4 months' time.
Now, Lindsey, we covered that when you were on with us, because I want to get into the new developments and go back to what this elitist former oil company had told you the globalists were planning. It dovetails with our intel, because it's now all of it is unfolding, and how you see this unfolding, how bad it's going to get, how bad he told you that it was going to get. But clearly, they get the world overextended in these debt bubbles. Then they blow out the oil, they blow out the stock market for a global consolidation so they can consolidate things. Is that not what you were told?
Yes, that's exactly what he said. He said America will see a financial crisis that will be so great that it will take years to come out of it. He said that Russia was going to be made a great empire again. They'll have to break them first and control them. He also mentioned other countries of the world and what would happen to them. Let me point out what happened this past weekend. Latvia government collapsed. Yes. Yeah, Latvia doesn't have natural resources, so it became a financial center. It has totally collapsed. The Ukraine, if you went to the bank in the Ukraine, you live there, you could not pull money out. They will not allow anyone to take cash out of the bank in the Ukraine. Iceland, as you remember, collapsed a while back. All of these, Hungary's foreign fell to an all-time low on Monday. Poland's zloty slumped to the lowest in 5 years. This is a worldwide situation that they basically are going to bring in the control of the whole world. East and Central Europe has been supported by Germany as of this past, 2 days ago.
And by the way, they're now announcing world government and all the news as a savior, ruled by banks, and a new bank of the world that will pay carbon taxes to, exactly what you said they were going to do. This is the foretold coming of the one world government. It is now happening.
Yes, that's exactly what's happening. And now let's go to the United States of America. How is this affecting us? First of all, he said to me 7 months ago, and Alex, you granted me the privilege of breaking this news on your show for the first time on July the 28th, and he said America will see a financial collapse so great that it will take years to come out of it. Now, let me point out what happened just this past week. Corporate profits report on this Monday. Macy's profits were down 59%. Target, yeah, a lot of you do business there from time to time. 41% down on profit report. JCPenney, 41%. Office Depot lost $1.5 billion. Imagine how this is going to affect the tax structure of the federal and state government within 60 to 90 days.
And the crime rate's exploding, and they're openly announcing they're getting ready for martial law. Please continue.
Yes, AIG, largest insurance company in the world, I guess it is, reported the biggest quarterly loss ever in U.S. financial history.
Close to $70 billion in one quarter. It's lost over $100 billion in the last year.
Yes, we bailed them out to $120 billion, and now they are going back for another $60 billion. And let me put it this way. In 1975, a person could buy all of the real estate in America, all of the shopping malls in America, all of the hotels in America, all of the land in the United States of America could have been bought in 1975 for what the government of the United States of America has spent in the past 90 days. I mean, folks, this is so startling. It shatters the thinking of a person almost. Citigroup has borrowed $40 billion from the U.S. Treasury, yet it's only worth $13 billion. You realize that your great-great-grandchildren are going to be responsible for this indebtedness of the outlandish things that are being done right now? A Saudi Arabian prince had invested hundreds of billions of dollars into Citibank. He's going broke. I mean, he literally is on the verge of wondering how. This man told me, he said the oil-producing countries, OPEC, they are doing this for the purpose of bringing them to bankruptcy, and every bit of it is exactly what you've been saying all of these times, these years, Alex. It's coming to pass right before our eyes.
And soon the riots and the martial law and the FEMA camps, unless we go completely wild, warning people as watchmen on the wall. I believe that if we expose this, at least here in the United States and a few other pockets, because we do have the Second Amendment, they may not bring in the full martial law here as they're doing all over the world right now.
Well, let me come down to where we are. At this past weekend, I'm going to give a place. I'm going to give a name. I have permission to do this. Campo, Colorado. southeastern Colorado, northern Texas. 40% of the food supply in the United States of America is grown right there. The couple is Vita Locke. She and her husband own a farm of thousands of acres. The largest farms in America are in that part of the country. Now, folks, please, if anything else that's said on this program today, this you must remember, because it's going to affect whether you eat dinner or not. She said to me, Chaplain Williams, we don't know what we're going to do. She said, right now we're getting $3 a bushel for corn. She said, we're ready to put in our crop and we can't do it. She said it cost us $5.50 to raise that corn this next year.
Stay there. We're going to talk about how they destroyed the commodities market by design to bankrupt everything. This is the massive New World Order move, as you do in third world countries, but on a global scale, bankrupting everything so riots break out and martial law can be declared. Then they set up dictatorship. Stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. Lindsey Williams is our guest. Quick break. We'll be right back. So many things are happening so fast right now that we've started another show, 9 to midnight. Jason Burma's the Info Warrior on the Genesis Network and on the internet streams at Infowars.com. Also, it's PrisonPlanet.tv, the full 3 hours. Just like we've done 3 of the 4 hours today, live TV. He's doing all 3 every night live at PrisonPlanet.tv. All right, going back to Lindsey Williams, I may even cancel the state rep who's coming on, who's introduced a pro-10th Amendment thing saying they're not going to follow the feds' gun control. This is in Alabama, Representative Mark Keehee, but we'll see what happens. This Lindsey Williams stuff is so important, but maybe we'll just have the rep on for 5 minutes while he's with us and then go back to Lindsey. Okay, Lindsey, can recap. Going into what's happening to the farmers, not just here but worldwide, riots are breaking out all over the planet for the last year. Countries are falling all over Africa. I mean, you name it. It is getting crazy. I listen to the BBC every day in my car on XM, and it's another country falling. Revolutions everywhere. CIA-backed coups. The globalists are moving on all fronts right now. Please continue.
Everything that the elitists planned a year and a half ago, what they've planned for many years in the financial crisis with what's happening in real estate and banking in America right now, all of this was planned many, many years ago. They knew everything they were going to do in advance, and now it comes down to the one thing that whenever you control that, you control the masses of population. Now, there are 2 things that every human being must have. You've got to have water. At least once every 24 hours, you must drink water. There's something else you have to live. You might do without a house or an automobile or some of these other things like a boat and so on. You cannot do without food. It finally has come to that. They've gotten the farmers right where they want them. Vita Locke, Campo, Colorado, thousands of acres, 40% of the food supply of America. Corn right now, they're selling it for $3 a bushel. Now, this was this weekend. It cost them to raise that corn $5.50 a bushel. They cannot put their crops in this spring. Wheat they're getting for it right now $5 a bushel. It cost them to raise that wheat $6 to $7 a bushel, and the farmers, what are they going to do? They can't plant. I asked Vita, I said, where are the farmers going? She said the only farmers that are going to plant this spring are those who have irrigated crops. And she said they know they aren't going to be able to produce enough. And she said they are planning, and they're depending on the insurance to bail them out, regardless of what happens to the weather. She said, Lindsey, there's going to be a major crisis. Now, folks, please listen to this. This startled me to no end. She said one other thing. She said, Chaplain Williams, she said, listen, there was nothing. Folks, please, you've got to see what our president is doing. Nothing in the stimulus package, not one penny in the stimulus package was earmarked for farmers.
It's all for the bankers. All for the bankers.
All for the bankers. All for the bailout of the money people. All of their friends and their cronies. But nothing, not one penny. Think of it now. Go back to the stimulus package for yourself. Think of everything you've heard about it for the last few weeks. Nothing in the stimulus package was earmarked for the farmers of America, and yet they cannot plant their crops this spring. And I said to Vita, how long before this is going to show up on the store shelves? She said, Lindsey, we can't plant this spring. She said, there's nothing we can do about it. Our farms, many of them are going to be lost. She said, next fall, the crop's not going to be there. For those who do irrigate and will dare to plant, knowing that about all they're going to get is the insurance out of it, she said the food's not going to be there. She said, you have about 6 to 9. Now, Alex, this is what's so amazing. This man indicated to me that 9 to 12 months, 6 to 9 to 12, he didn't say exactly how long, there would be this crisis that would appear in America, and it is going exactly almost to the month what this man told me was going to happen when I broke it on your program. I am so glad you allowed me to tell it on July the 28th. Otherwise, many people in the listening audience would have difficulty believing today that they had all this planned in advance, but they did. And now I would come down to the one control item that if you want to control the masses of people, you control the food. And this weekend, Vita Locke said to me, folks, go to it. Look in the phone directory. Call her up. If you doubt what I'm saying.
No. Listen. Beef is more in the stores, but because the meat packers, 4 companies have bought up all of the processing, the people raising cattle are literally going bankrupt. They can't even make the money they put into it on selling them. They're losing money. The cows are stacking up. The beef is more.